Have you ever felt like you're in a constant race for other people's approval? Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty powerful idea that might just change how you see that race altogether. We're talking about finding your own attention. No, really, just for a second, think about it. The moment you wake up, where does your focus actually go? Is it straight to your phone, your to-do list that just never seems to end, the news? Or maybe, just maybe, it's what everyone else is up to online. You know, we're kind of trained from day one to look outward for everything, for answers, for validation. But what if that's all backwards? What if the most important, most crucial attention you could ever get is the attention you give to yourself? To really get why turning inward is such a game changer, we first have to understand the opposite pole. And that brings us to our first section, the hunger for attention and this constant external chase it puts us on. So what's driving this chase? Well, it pretty much starts with our ego and our intellect. You could say they're basically wired to seek out the world's attention. They just thrive on it. And that wiring keeps our awareness pointed outward, always looking to other people, not just for a connection, but to tell us we're okay, to validate our own worth. On this constant outward pull, well, it forces us to make a fundamental choice, whether we even realize we're making it or not. It's a choice so critical, it's actually been called the Great Divide. And here they are, the two paths laid out plain and simple. On one side, you have the attention of the world. This is the ego's playground, right? It's driven by the intellect, and the goal is always to get that validation from others. But on the other side, you've got attention from yourself. This comes from a much deeper place, the mind. And its goal is totally different. It's not about validation, it's just about understanding yourself. And let's be super clear here. This isn't some minor preference. This is what's described as a big division point with people. It's a fundamental fork in the road that really shapes whether we spend our lives chasing approval or if we set off on a real path of self-discovery. So if we decide to take that second path, what does that actually look like? I mean, how do you even start finding your own attention? All right, let's explore that path inward. Okay, first, we've got to get clear on a key term here. When we talk about the mind, we're not talking about the intellect, the part of you that crams facts for a test. A good way to think about it is this. The intellect is like a computer, always processing data from the outside world. The mind, though, is more like the awareness that's watching the computer. It's that space for direct, pure self-understanding, totally separate from all that external knowledge. And this leads to this huge shift in how we learn. I mean, we all start at step one, right? Learning from others, using our intellect to soak up information. But the real transformation, the thing we're really digging into here, happens when we move to step two, when we open our own mind to learn for ourselves, straight from our own inner experience. And when you make that leap from learning from others to learning for yourself, it creates this incredibly profound change in your perception. It's the powerful difference between just learning an idea in your head and truly knowing it. So here's what that difference actually feels like. When we only learn from the outside, we end up with a big collection of shoulds. We think, okay, based on what I've read or what I've been told, this is what I should do. But when you see something for yourself, from that deep inner place of mind, that word should just vanishes. And it gets replaced by this quiet, unshakable certainty. I know what to do. This is so much more than just a small change in words. It's the big distinction. It's the absolute core difference between just borrowing someone else's idea and arriving at your own undeniable personal truth. Okay, so what's the reward for making this inward turn? Why go through all this? Well, the payoff is a completely new kind of harmony and a much deeper, more authentic self-awareness. There's this beautiful term used to describe the feeling, one-pointed. Just think about how often we feel scattered, right? Pulled in a million different directions by what other people think, by our worries, by all the noise. When you finally have your own attention, all of that static just falls away. You become focused, integrated, truly harmonious within yourself. This chart just captures the result perfectly. As you start to build that inner harmony from self-attention, the need for external validation doesn't just get smaller, it becomes almost irrelevant. You're no longer out there chasing a feeling of fulfillment from other people because you're already generating it from within. And this leads to a pretty profound realization about why we're here. We're not just here to be spectators, endlessly watching and commenting on the lives of others. We are here to fully, deeply experience our own life. So the ultimate goal isn't to shut out the world. Not at all. It's to use it differently, to use it like a mirror. So instead of looking to the world for validation, you use it for self-reflection, to see what you don't yet understand about yourself. And that shift in perspective, well, that's what leads to the most fulfilling experience life has to offer. So in the end, the greatest adventure isn't really about mapping the world out there. It's about turning the map inward to understand all the uncharted territories of ourselves. So I'll just leave you with this question. What's one thing you're ready to truly see?